Xiao Chen remembered that he sensed Bai Zhan's cultivation to be small perfection half-step martial monarch. However, Bai Zhan's combat prowess was at least 2 levels higher than the green-robed young master's. Xiao Chen bent over and removed a high-grade jade spatial ring from the green-robed young master's hand. Then, he tossed it to Lang Yu and said, "See what is in there. Help me organize it, I have something to do." Lang Yu caught the ring as she watched Xiao Chen leave quickly. She called out loudly, "What are you going to do?" "I'm going to kill people. Don't follow me." Xiao Chen waved without looking back. The cool breeze blew his calm voice into Lang Yu's ears. Above the Scarlet Sea, the yellow-robed, white-robed, and blue-robed young masters were currently using spirit stones to replenish their essence. 2 hours later, the medial-grade spirit stones in their hands were drained, reduced to useless rocks. The 3 young masters had also completely replenished their essence. The blue-robed young master was the first to open his eyes. He said somewhat worriedly, "Why is Big Brother not back yet? Did something unexpected happen? Should we go and take a look?" The yellow-robed young master shook his head and said, "That won't happen. Given Big Brother's strength, it should be no problem for him to deal with that brat. If there was anything unexpected, he should still be able to flee." The white-robed young master sneered, "That's right. That fellow is probably some lucky bastard that ate some natural treasures, resulting in his essence being more abundant. However, he is nothing compared to Big Brother. All we have to do is wait here peacefully for Big Brother's good news." At this moment, a green-robed figure appeared in the 3's vision. This green-robed figure was handsome and had an extraordinary aura. He carried a white-robed bladesman on his shoulder. He walked leisurely towards the 3. When the white-robed young master saw the situation, he could not help laughing out loud. Like I said, Big Brother would not have any problems. He even managed to capture this brat alive. I am going to torture him properly later. Xiao Chen's earlier attack had embarrassed the white-robed young master. When he saw Xiao Chen being carried back, he became very excited. So, he ran over quickly. The blue-robed young master and the yellow-robed young master heaved sighs of relief as they quickly followed behind the white-robed young master. "Big Brother, toss this brat over to me. I want to play with him," the white-robed young master said with a sinister expression. The green-robed young master smiled sinisterly as well without saying a word. He quickly tossed over Xiao Chen, who was on his shoulder, facing away from the white-robed young master. When the blue-robed young master behind the white-robed young master looked at the silent and smiling green-robed young master, he suddenly felt that something was wrong. However, he could not tell what was wrong. He hesitated for a while before finally deciding to use his perception to check. In the end, after the blue-robed young master checked, he was greatly startled. The green-robed young master, before him, did not have any cultivation at all. He was an ordinary person. That sinister and vast aura were all a sham. "Fourth brother, danger. He is fake." The blue-robed young master shouted quickly as he looked at the seemingly unconscious Xiao Chen falling towards the white-robed young master, almost within reach. The white-robed young master was stunned. He could not understand what was happening. He turned his head and said, "What's going on? What are you saying is fake?" "Shoo." The moment the white-robed young master spoke, the originally floppy and spiritless Xiao Chen suddenly drew the lunar shadow saber at his waist, drawing the saber. A cold light flashed at lightning speed. The white-robed young master quickly turned, but he did not even have an opportunity to look at Xiao Chen again. His head immediately flew off his neck. Ka-ca. The blue-robed young master and the yellow-robed young master quickly retreated 100 meters as they drew their weapons. The blue-robed young master glanced at the green-robed young master, who was still smiling sinisterly. Then, he asked in a stern voice, "What did you do to my big brother?" "You mean him? That is just a blob of scarlet water. Naturally, the true green-robed young master is dead already." Xiao Chen gave the so-called green-robed young master a quick glance. Then, He pointed at the green-robed young master and it immediately devolved into scarlet water before splashing back into the sea. This was the life bestowal spell that he was very familiar with. When the blue-robed young master and the yellow-robed young master saw the green-robed young master turn into a glob of scarlet water, they felt greatly astonished. They had not expected there to be such a strange martial technique in this world. The yellow-robed young master shouted sternly, "Xiao Chen, do you know what you did? You killed 2 of the heirs of the Northern Sea's 4 noble clans. Even the Heavenly Extermination Union's Union Chief will not be able to save you." Xiao Chen said calmly, "If no one offends me, I will not offend them. If anyone wants to kill me, naturally, I will kill them, instead." All 4 of the 4 young masters had to die. Otherwise, if one of them fled and gave his testimony, the people of the Northern Sea's 4 noble clans would chase after Xiao Chen with all their might. The blue-robed young master and the yellow-robed young master exchanged glances. They used the moment when Xiao Chen was speaking to tacitly attack together. Mountain River Sword. Ghost Face Saber. The blue-robed young master held a sharp sword in his hand, creating a mysterious phenomenon. A great land of mountain and rivers appeared. He used his sword as a brush to draw out such a scene. It was like the surrounding space was brought into a painting and he was the artist. The yellow-robed young master held a saber in his hand. He sent out a saber chi that looked like a black scathing ghost face. Xiao Chen had been on guard against the 2 suddenly attacking him. Naturally, he did not panic from their killing moves. The blue-robed young master's mysterious phenomenon tried to use an imposing aura to suppress Xiao Chen in that scene. The yellow-robed young master's attack was a mental attack on the opponent's spirit and mind that used a secret art to form a ghost face through essence and mental energy. The 2 attacks had their own special points. They were not inferior to each other. After a moment's thought, Xiao Chen came up with a countermeasure. He decided to break the blue-robed young master's mysterious phenomenon first. If it was forcibly broken, then the blue-robed young master would not have much combat prowess right after that. In order to draw the rivers and mountains and contain them in a drawing, one had to comprehend the natural laws or have a complete holy weapon. Unfortunately, the blue-robed young master had neither. He had only scratched the surface. Hence, Xiao Chen had the opportunity to break it. Wukui breaks the heavens. A beam of red light appeared on the saber. As the wukui tree above him completed its growth, the beam of light immediately elongated. It extended to the sky, piercing through the 9 heavens. Ka-ca, ka-ca. Cracking sounds could be heard. It was the mysterious phenomenon breaking. The scene that the blue-robed young master drew shattered completely. The mountains and rivers collapsed on themselves because the artist no longer had the power to sustain them. Fu-si. The blue-robed young master vomited a mouthful of blood. His complexion became very pale. It was clear that he was in disbelief. Although the blue-robed young master knew that Xiao Chen had vast essence, he had not expected such a big gap to exist between him, a half-step martial monarch, and Xiao Chen, a superior grade martial king. If the blue-robed young master had known in advance, he would not have executed this mountain river sword. Xiao Chen broke the blue-robed young master's mountain river sword with one attack. However, the yellow-robed young master's ghost face saber was already approaching him. Just when the ghost face was only a meter away from Xiao Chen, it suddenly opened its mouth. It laughed, emitting sound waves. The sound waves were very piercing. When they entered Xiao Chen's mind, countless malicious spirits appeared in his sea of consciousness, attacking his mental energy. Within the sea of consciousness, that golden deity gently swung its sword, reducing countless malicious spirits to ashes. They were no threat to Xiao Chen. Break. The red light spread in Xiao Chen's eyes as he unleashed the state of massacre without holding back. He executed the arclight chop and chopped the ghost face in half. The scarlet arclight circled Xiao Chen. Then, it suddenly fired out at the yellow-robed young master trying to sneak attack him. When the yellow-robed young master's sneak attack failed, he he knew he would not be able to defeat Xiao Chen. So he decisively retreated. However, how could Xiao Chen give him a chance to flee? Back then, Xiao Chen had already killed the green-robed young master. The yellow-robed young master was clearly weaker. How could he be a match for Xiao Chen? After Xiao Chen and the yellow-robed young master exchanged 100 moves, wounds of various sizes appeared on the yellow-robed young master. Furthermore, crystalline electrical currents lingered in those wounds, aggravating his injuries. After another 50 moves, Xiao Chen found a big opening and killed his opponent. Xiao Chen swept his gaze around the sea and soon found the weakened blue-robed young master walking miserably on the water. Azure Dragon Tail Whip. A huge dragon appeared on the sea and swung its tail, creating a strong wind. Xiao Chen moved in an arc before instantly arriving before the blue-robed young master. Die. Xiao Chen did not give his opponent any time to spout nonsense. He raised his saber and the blue-robed young master's head went flying. A combination of 30% strategy, 20% courage, and 50% strength had taken down the famous Northern Sea's 4 young masters. Xiao Chen killed them one after another, sinking them in this vast Scarlet Sea. After killing these 4 people, Xiao Chen's essence was not completely exhausted yet. He still had a third of his essence left in the crystalline Qi whirlpool. The benefit of 11 spirit-gathering pearls could be seen at this moment. Although Xiao Chen does not seem to be on guard, he sent out his spiritual sense continuously to check his surroundings. He also moved about and checked the area very carefully before he relaxed. By the time Xiao Chen landed, Leng Yu had already rushed over and retrieved the spatial rings of the other 3 young masters. Leng Yu had a connection with Xiao Chen's spirit blood jade, so they could always sense each other's auras. It was not strange for her to be able to find Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen used the purple thunder true fire to burn the 3 corpses to ashes. After that, he quickly said to Leng Yu, "Have you organized the items in the spatial rings? We cannot stay here for too long. We have to leave quickly." Leng Yu smiled faintly and said, "There is no need to worry. These 4 people are already dead. No one knows that you killed them. Furthermore, their spatial rings are filled with treasures." Xiao Chen did not reply, he only walked forward silently. He felt that Bai Zhan would definitely have a backup plan. That person was like a venomous snake. If he did not bite you, you would be fine. However, when he bit, he would go for the kill. Even though Xiao Chen already checked the area when Xiao Chen heard that there were so many spirit stones, he did not consider it strange. The boundless sea had many spirit mines of high quality. Aside from the resources from the bottom of the sea, the Northern Sea's 4 noble clans also controlled the trade between the Northern Sea and the Tianwu continent. This brought them an incredible fortune. The spatial rings of the 4 have some rare ores in them. We can use them for the 10,000 magic gathering spirit formation. If you change all the points you have into spirit stones and add in the earlier spirit stones, you should barely have enough to make a 10,000 magic gathering spirit formation. Xiao Chen quickly came to a stop and paused for a while. He said, "Go back into the spirit blood jade first. I will move at my fastest speed to quickly return to the divine dragon warship." Leng Yu felt it was strange, so she asked, "Are you in that much of a rush? Didn't you want to go deeper into the inner area?" Xiao Chen changed his direction and started to rush forward. He slowly said, "I already made up my mind. The next place I'm going to will be the island in the battlefield's core area. It would be good to make some more preparations." The most dangerous place in this deep-sea battlefield was naturally the island in the core area. However, there was a saying, "The most dangerous place is the safest place." Given how dangerous this place was, even if the people from the Northern Sea's 4 noble clans came, they would hesitate to enter the island. All Xiao Chen had to do was wait until the storm blew over. Then he would have avoided the danger. Long after Xiao Chen and Leng Yu left, a rip in space suddenly appeared where the 2 had originally been. Then, the evil moon pavilion's Bai Zhan climbed out from the rip. Bai Zhan floated in midair, holding a glistering mirror. The scene in the mirror was that of Xiao Chen killing the 4 young masters. This fellow's perception is really strong. I was almost discovered even though I have this void battle armor. Bai Zhan looked away from the mirror and in the direction Xiao Chen had left in. He muttered to himself, it is not too surprising for him to have been able to kill the 4 young masters when they were separated. However, I did not expect him to win so easily. I need to quickly make a trip to the Northern Sea. Ha ha. Now that the heirs of the 4 noble clans have been killed, even if you advance to martial monarch, you will not be able to survive. Bai Zhan's plans were multi-layered. Regardless of the 4 young masters' success or failure, he had already forced Xiao Chen into a dead end. From the moment the green-robed young master agreed to make a move, Bai Zhan had already thought of all the possibilities and came up with countermeasures. On that huge divine dragon warship, Leng Yu ground superior-grade spirit stones into dust in an isolated courtyard. Then, she carefully drew a large formation. Xiao Chen pushed open the door and entered. Then, he carefully closed the door. Leng Yu looked up and asked, have you purchased everything already? With a thought and a flip of his palm, Xiao Chen poured out a large pile of rare ores. He nodded and said, several things are missing. However, I managed to get some replacements as per your instructions. See if they can be used. Leng Yu inspected the items on the floor. Then, she said, normally, they can't be used. However, I used superior-grade spirit stones to draw the formation lines instead of medial-grade spirit stones. That should make up for the difference. Without saying anything more, she took the items on the floor and arranged them in various positions of the formation. After Leng Yu did everything, she took a break and said, wait for me to recover first, then we can activate the 10,000 magic gathering spirit formation. After that, we can carry out the blood binding on that scarlet blood frost flame void projection painting. 3 days ago, after the 2 returned to the huge divine dragon warship, Xiao Chen started to buy all the materials he needed, spending the 4 young masters' wealth in a discreet manner. He took another 2 days to finally gather everything. 15 minutes later, Leng Yu ended her break. She told Xiao Chen to sit cross-legged in the middle of the formation. Then, she prepared to activate the 10,000 magic gathering spirit formation. The purple mark on her forehead flashed and Leng Yu exuded an ancient, noble aura once again. She took a deep breath and sent out 6 trails of sparks from her finger. The sparks landed on the formation line made of spirit stone dust. There was a loud explosion and the entire formation started burning, giving off a dazzling, resplendent light. The ores on the various points of the formation turned into 108 trails of sparks and flew into Xiao Chen's forehead. When the sparks entered Xiao Chen's sea of consciousness, all his mental energy started to surge and burn up, turning into a ball of golden liquid. Su, su, su. Xiao Chen's body also gave off golden light, like he had turned into a golden person. Leng Yu quickly formed hand seals with her hands. The 10,000 magic gathering spirit formation on the floor started spinning, giving off all sorts of light as it flickered. Xiao Chen, who was within the formation, became very blurry. The ball of golden liquid in his sea of consciousness compressed relentlessly. As the ball of golden liquid kept compressing, Xiao Chen did not feel that his mental energy was weakening. Instead, it felt like his mental energy was growing stronger. This continued for some time before the golden light on Xiao Chen's body faded away. The light from the formation also weakened. The ball of golden liquid compressed until its diameter was a hair's width. Then, it floated out of Xiao Chen's forehead. The tiny ball of liquid gave off a dazzling, resplendent light, illuminating the entire courtyard like it was day. Fortunately, this place was very isolated. Otherwise, a mysterious phenomenon of this scale would attract a lot of attention. Xiao Chen, quickly, make your move. This is your magic energy. It will exist for only 4 seconds, Leng Yu said hurriedly. He opened his eyes and promptly replied, all right. Xiao Chen had already learned from Leng Yu long ago how to initiate the blood binding with this magic energy. He circulated his energies and pricked his fingertip. A drop of blood quickly flew out and merged with that golden magic energy, intertwining with it continuously. 4 seconds was just 2 breaths of time. Xiao Chen did not dare to delay. He quickly took out the scarlet blood flame prison painting and unfurled it. Ding! The instant the painting unfurled, Xiao Chen's blood with the magic energy fell on it. The 4 seconds ended. Xiao Chen looked at the painting floating quietly in the air. He felt like that the painting had come to life. This felt very wonderful, different from the feeling of secret treasures. Secret treasures had a mental connection. However, this scarlet blood flame prison painting was a magic treasure. It required both mental and blood connections. This scarlet blood flame prison painting was now part of his body. Xiao Chen issued a mental command and the unfurled scarlet blood flame prison painting immediately turned into a beam of dim light. It flew into Xiao Chen's chest and mixed with his blood. Smiling faintly, he waved his right hand and the painting instantly appeared in his hand. Leng Yu walked over and said, "Xiao Chen, this scarlet blood flame prison painting has already become your magic treasure. It is different from secret treasures. If the magic treasure is destroyed, the master will suffer from significant damage to their spirit. You do not have magic energy. So compared to regular immortal cultivators, you will suffer even more damage to your spirit." Xiao Chen quickly nodded to indicate his understanding. He already comprehended that magic energy was created from mental energy, just like how a martial monarch turned essence into quintessence. So, any magic energy damage received would result in mental energy damage of severalfold. Xiao Chen suffered from the restriction of this world. He could not turn mental energy into magic energy. However, that did not mean that he would not be able to do so in the future. Without checking on the details of the scarlet blood flame prison painting, Xiao Chen put it away. Then he said seriously, "Let's go. We will rush over to the core area island now." Leng Yu revealed astonishment in her eyes. She said, "Ever since you killed the 4 young masters, you seem to be in a rush." Xiao Chen revealed a somewhat helpless expression. He smiled bitterly and said, "I don't wish to, either. Such a mental state is not suitable for cultivating. However, Bai Zhan is too big of a threat. I originally thought that he would sneak attack me after the 4 young masters, but he did not. When unexpected things happen, something must be wrong. This Bai Zhan would definitely not rest all his hopes on the 4 young masters. He should also be very familiar with the level of the green-robed young master." Leng Yu was very intelligent. She quickly figured out the crux of the problem. She said, "You are afraid that he informed the people of the Northern Sea's 4 noble clans. However, if he has no evidence, the 4 noble clans cannot do anything to you, either." Xiao Chen shook his head and said, "Sometimes, people do not need evidence to kill, all they need is suspicion. I do not know what kind of people the 4 noble clans are. So it is best to be cautious. Let's go." Leng Yu went into deep thought, recalling some of her experiences, and agreed with Xiao Chen. In the airspace of the eastern boundless sea, heading for the northern boundless sea, Bai Zhan activated his void battle armor at its limit. He was inside the void, traveling at Mach 15. There was no air resistance in the void, so a cultivator could move thrice as fast as normal. If they had a secret treasure, their speed might even be 1 more fold on that. The void battle armor was an early superior grade secret treasure. There were only 3 superior grade secret treasures in the entire Evil Moon Pavilion. One of them was in Bai Zhan's hands. This clearly showed his position in the Evil Moon Pavilion. If the void battle armor was activated at full power, it could be used only once every 6 months. However, it would last for 7 days. This was something the Evil Moon Pavilion's Pavilion Master gave to Bai Zhan to protect his life. Once he entered the void, unless a sage changed the natural law, even a peak superior grade martial monarch would not be able to do anything. I already flew for 2 days straight, In another 4 hours, I should be able to reach the headquarters of the Northern Sea Alliance. Bai Zhan calmly calculated the time as he flew. He smiled and said, Xiao Chen, you can feel proud even if you die. You have managed to force me to use the void battle armor. After Xiao Chen left the huge divine dragon warship, he quickly rushed to the most dangerous place of the third-grade battlefield. Along the way, Xiao Chen checked out the details of the Scarlet Blood Flame prison painting. The Scarlet Blood Flame prison painting was previously the Void Projection painting. Naturally, one of its uses was to contain things. Xiao Chen could trap the demons that he saw in the Scarlet Blood Flame prison painting. After he used it a few times, he discovered that trapping an enemy within it exhausted a lot of mental energy. Furthermore, there were many restrictions. First, if the distance was more than 500 meters, he failed to trap his opponent into blood flame beasts to deal with his enemies. However, Xiao Chen was limited by his strength. He could only summon blood flame beasts that were as powerful as martial saints. They were only good as cannon fodder. Aside from this, the thing that interested Xiao Chen was the hand suppressing the Scarlet Blood Frost Flame. If his guess was right, that hand should be the arm of a martial emperor. He did not know what percent of the martial emperor's power this arm could wield. However, even 10% would be enough for him to move around unhindered. 1 week later, in the most dangerous place of the third-grade battlefield, the contour of the island in the core area appeared before Xiao Chen. The clouds above the small island looked like they were dyed black with ink. No light shone on the island, it was truly shrouded in darkness. The cultivators had a name for this island in the core area, Nirvana Island. According to legend, when the divine bird, the phoenix, died, it would undergo a test of pain and intense burning. Once it passed the test, it would be reborn and rise to a higher level. This was known as Phoenix Nirvana. When cultivators went to the core area island, they would definitely be ready to die when they entered. They were prepared to go through all sorts of tempering and trials. Once they cleared these trials, they would be able to rise to a higher level as well. Hence, it was called Nirvana Island. Nirvanic rebirth, Xiao Chen muttered. There is still half a year. I have to advance to half-step martial monarch in that time. Holding the lunar shadow saber with his left hand, he walked to Nirvana Island with a resolute gaze in his eyes. What Xiao Chen did not know was that at this moment, there was an intense discussion about him on the Divine Dragon warship. Within a big hall, a few old men were currently watching a projection in the air. This projection was showing a white-robed, red-eyed bladesman killing the Northern Sea's green-robed young master. After that, this white-robed bladesman played a trick and killed the white-robed young master. Finally, he fought 1-on-2 against the yellow-robed and blue-robed young masters. This projection depicted how the Northern Sea's 4 young masters died at the hands of this person. A few elders from the Northern Sea Alliance sat in chairs in the hall. Their complexions were ashen, but this was not their first time seeing this scene. However, every time they saw it, they felt humiliated. Unexpectedly, the heirs of the Northern Sea's 4 noble clans died at the hands of a great Qin nation's bladesman. Furthermore, that bladesman looked to be only 20 years old. The projection paused when it showed the white-robed bladesman and Leng Yu leaving. Bai Zhan smiled and took back the revolving light mirror. Elder Feng, do you believe us now? We have evidence, said Ao Feng, an elder of the green-robed young master's clan, with a sullen expression. Feng Buyu frowned slightly. As the overseer of this third-grade battlefield, he did not have much of an impression of Xiao Chen. After all, there were several 10,000 cultivators in the third-grade battlefield. It would be difficult for him to remember all of them. Since Feng Buyu did not have an impression, he could not be bothered about him. Just as he was about to say something, the white-haired old man beside him looked at Bai Zhan and said, "Young hero Bai, this is very strange. Since you had been at the back using the revolving light mirror, why did you not lend a hand to rescue the 4 young masters? Instead, you opted to just watch them die. While Feng Buyu did not have any impression of Xiao Chen, the white-haired old man had a deep impression of Xiao Chen. As a medial-grade martial king, Xiao Chen had already attained the 10th rank of the point ranking wall. The white-haired old man guessed that Xiao Chen had a complicated background. Now that something like this had happened, the white-haired old man's first instinct was that this was strange. It was clear that something was wrong. Hearing the white-haired old man ask that, the people of the Northern Sea's 4 noble clans looked suspiciously at Bai Zhan. Bai Zhan did not show any panic on his face. He had already anticipated this question long ago. He calmly replied, "Back then, I did try to help. Unfortunately, this person was too strong. Within 10 moves, he severely injured me. I was forced to rely on my void battle armor to hide in the void. Only then was I able to escape this calamity." The crowd could not pick out anything wrong with what Bai Zhan said. Even if they could, they would not be willing to do so. Their heirs were dead. What they wanted to do was find the murderer. Then, they would kill the murderer in a horrendous fashion in order to protect the prestige of the Northern Sea Alliance and the 4 noble clans. The truth was not important. As long as they could accomplish this task perfectly, it would be fine. Between Bai Zhan and Xiao Chen, one was the first disciple of the Evil Moon Pavilion's pavilion master, the other was an independent cultivator with no backing. It was clear whom they would rather trust. The white-haired old man looked away from Bai Zhan and said indifferently, "It is common for cultivators to kill each other in the battlefield. Our Divine Dragon Palace will not care about this and will not make an exception. So we will not use the jade pendant to locate this person." Feng Buyu felt somewhat depressed. He did not know why the white-haired old man was protecting Xiao Chen, but the two of them were on the same side, so it was inconvenient for him to ask why. He could only look at Ao Feng, the person leading this group of people from the 4 noble clans, and say in an apologetic manner, "We cannot break the rules. If others knew that we used the jade pendant to track their location, no one would ever come to our Eastern Sea for experiential training anymore. I can represent the Divine Dragon Palace in saying that we will not interfere with your personal operation. In this matter, we will remain neutral." Ao Feng had a hostile expression as he got up and snorted coldly. "Remember what you said. Maintain neutrality. Let's go." After Feng Buyu saw the 4 noble clans' people leave, he commented to the white-haired old man, "You seem to know that Xiao Chen." The white-haired old man nodded and replied, "Back then, Xiao Chen left a deep impression on me. Later on, I did some investigation on him. I discovered that he is under the protection of the Heavenly Extermination Union. It is best if we don't interfere here." Feng Buyu nodded and said, "The Heavenly Extermination Union can be considered a powerful great sect. Unfortunately, the trouble this person got into is too huge. Otherwise, I would not mind lending a hand in doing the Heavenly Extermination Union a favor." This time, the 4 noble clans sent out 8 people. They were all martial monarchs. Sending out 8 martial monarchs made it clear how much the noble clans cared about this. Outside the big hall, Ao Feng frowned and said, "Young Master Bai, do you know where that brat is hiding? We had best finish this fast, so we can quickly return and give an account for this matter." Bai Zhan shook his head and said, "I do not know. However, you don't have to be anxious. He has a frighteningly high amount of points. He will definitely return to exchange for items. You just have to stay here and wait." When the 8 martial monarch old men heard that, they heaved sighs of relief. The battlefield was so vast. Even though they were martial monarchs, it would be very difficult for them to find a person, not to mention time-consuming. Most cultivators who dared to step onto Nirvana Island had combat prowess equal to a great perfection half-step martial monarches. A large part of them would be like Sun Guangquan, peak great perfection half-step martial monarchs. If Xiao Chen included all his secret treasures, his overall combat prowess was already equal to a great perfection half-step martial monarches. He was qualified to step onto this Nirvana Island, but he would not be able to venture too deep into it. When Xiao Chen landed firmly on the beach, his limbs immediately felt stiff. He felt an even stronger suppression on his mental power in his sea of consciousness. What strong mental pressure! No wonder Sun Guangquan would choose this place to open his sea of consciousness. With such great pressure, it would definitely be easier to open the sea of consciousness here compared to outside. Xiao Chen stretched himself where he was, letting his body get used to the environment of Nirvana Island. Nirvana Island was completely dark and the environment was complicated. Thick jungles and piles of rocks were scattered around messily, filling Nirvana Island without any observable pattern. There is a peak high-ranked fire demon 2 kilometers ahead. It has sensed you already and is heading over. With her purple eyes, Leng Yu, who was beside him, could look into the distance without any obstruction. In this place where Xiao Chen's mental energy was suppressed, Leng Yu's eyes were better than his spiritual sense. Xiao Chen stopped moving. His blood surged in his body as he said with anticipation, "Peak high-ranked fire demon. Let's see what my first opponent on Nirvana Island is like." After a few breaths, Xiao Chen also saw the peak high-ranked fire demon. The clearest part was the flame on its head, which looked like ghost fire in the dark jungle. Xiao Chen placed his right hand on his saber hilt. He raised his fighting spirit and circulated his essence. His clothes fluttered without wind as a surging energy spread around him and his aura rose continuously. A peak high-ranked fire demon was as strong as a human great perfection half-step martial monarch. The only disadvantage it had was that it could not learn cultivation techniques or martial techniques like humans could. As a low-class demon, it could only rely on its innate abilities to fight. This gave Xiao Chen the opportunity to kill it. Boom! 3 huge fireballs left huge fiery trails as they cut through the darkness, heading towards Xiao Chen. The peak high-ranked fire demon had taken the initiative to attack first. The fireballs flew very fast, moving at Mach 3.5. Xiao Chen bent over slightly, placed his feet apart, and rushed forward. Bang! Bang! The fireballs on the left and right crashed into each other, blasting the afterimage Xiao Chen left behind at the original spot into nothing. A deep pit 10 meters in diameter also instantly appeared in the ground. Chop! Xiao Chen drew the lunar shadow saber. It flashed like blood-red lightning in the darkness, completely unleashing the state of massacre. Then, it chopped the fireball above in half. Roaming Dragon's 9 transformations. Xiao Chen shouted before his figure wavered and became 9. His overwhelming killing intent faded away as he vanished into 9 cool breezes. The air that had solidified earlier due to the state of massacre started to flow when the cool wind blew. The peak high-ranked fire demon squinted. It knew the might of this move. Suddenly, the ground below it exploded. The shock wave tossed the peak high-ranked fire demon into the air. The moment the fire demon soared up, Xiao Chen's 9 figures merged back under it. The non-existent killing intent erupted and reduced the rock fragments, which the shock wave created and kicked up, to dust. Xiao Chen's attack missed. This fire demon was very smart. Unexpectedly, it knew how to use some method to quickly raise its speed. Although Xiao Chen's attack missed, he used his momentum to quickly chase after the fire demon in the air. The best way to deal with a fire demon was to get close to it, then hack it to death. Of course, one had to be able to survive getting close to it first. Bang! 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 Solid, crystalline saber light flickered continuously. Xiao Chen chopped the fireballs flying at him in half. As he did so, he calmly calculated the distance between him and the fire demon. 100 meters, 90 meters, 80 meters. I have arrived. Azure Dragon Tail Whip. Hu Kai. Xiao Chen suddenly moved in an arc. A huge dragon tail kicked up a strong wind and he instantly appeared in front of the fire demon. The peak high-ranked fire demon was stunned. Its expression changed greatly. Clearly, it had not expected Xiao Chen to have such a strange movement technique. Ka-ca. The saber light flashed before the peak high-ranked fire demon's horrified eyes. Xiao Chen chopped it apart at the waist. Then, Xiao Chen extracted the fire demon's demon core before floating back to the ground. Finally, he closed his eyes and started to digest the killing intent gained from this fire demon. After a while, Xiao Chen opened his eyes again. His eyes were clear, the state of massacre had completely vanished. A peak high-ranked blood demon's killing intent is indeed strong. Such trials should be able to help me to perfect my grasp on the state of massacre. I will definitely undergo a rebirth on this Nirvana island. In the following days, Leng Yu served as Xiao Chen's eyes, helping him locate the demons in advance. After evaluating their strength, she would decide if Xiao Chen should fight them. Xiao Chen knew that he was not very strong, so he did not venture too deep into the island. He merely stayed on the outskirts to kill some peak high-ranked demons. Time slowly went by as Xiao Chen tempered his state of massacre in battle on this island, living a simple and dull life every day. 5 months passed in such a manner. During this time, the blood moon appeared 3 times. All the high-ranked demons on Nirvana Island went berserk. All the Divine Dragon Palace's elite disciples and the peak Great Perfection half-step martial monarchs fought intense battles in the center of the island. The battle at the outpost islets was far inferior to this. After seeing it for the first time, Xiao Chen realized that this was the true core of the entire battlefield. During this time, the demons would gather at the center of the island and attack the base of the Divine Dragon Palace. This allowed Xiao Chen a chance to sneak over and not get discovered by the large number of demons. Thus, every time the blood moon rose, Xiao Chen would observe the battles of these peak Great Perfection half-step martial monarchs. He would learn about and analyze all sorts of martial techniques, gaining a lot of benefits. What made Xiao Chen happier was that he saw Sun Guangquan among the group of peak Great Perfection half-step martial monarchs. This senior's cultivation had improved and was another step closer to advancing to martial monarch. On this particular day, Xiao Chen attracted a total of 5 peak high-ranked fire demons in one go. He only used 10 moves to finish all these demons simultaneously. A large amount of red light flew into Xiao Chen's forehead. The depravity of massacre engulfed his entire body, but he remained calm. He did not lose himself in the desire for massacre. He had already grasped the state of massacre by now. He had also gained a richer experience on how to deal with the bloodlust in his heart. Xiao Chen expertly extracted the demon cores and asked calmly, "Leng Yu, how long have we stayed on the island already?" 5 months and 16 days. Why? Xiao Chen muttered, "Let's go. It is time for us to return." One had to pace oneself when cultivating. Xiao Chen had undergone high-intensity battles for almost half a year. He had already reached the limits of his body. He was still young. He did not need to train bitterly on Nirvana Island the way those peak Great Perfection half-step martial monarchs did. Those people were already reaching the end of their lifespan, or this was their last chance to advance to martial monarch, so they had to bet the rest of their lives on this. Xiao Chen still had plenty of opportunities in the future. He could not let himself remain stuck here. Doing so would result in a lifetime of regret. The moment Xiao Chen left the island and flew above the Scarlet Sea, he suddenly felt very relaxed and at ease. After thinking about it for a while, he understood what happened. He had spent a long time in a state of suppression on the island. Now that the pressure on his spirit was lifted, it was normal that he felt relaxed. The dim Scarlet Sea now appeared very bright in Xiao Chen's vision. After spending a long time in darkness, his eyes had gained significant benefit. Xiao Chen looked down at the sea and his reflection appeared to be very different. After half a year of massacre and experiential training, the tenderness and inexperienced look on his face were gone. When he saw his reflection, he could not help but be stunned. He had not looked at himself seriously for a long time. Now that he did so, he was shocked to discover how much he had grown. Xiao Chen muttered to himself softly, "It's been 4 years." Unexpectedly, 4 years went by in the blink of an eye. It had been 4 years since Xiao Chen came to this world. It was unknown if the him from 4 years ago would have imagined gaining such accomplishments now. What has been 4 years? Leng Yu, who was at his side, asked curiously. Xiao Chen did not answer Leng Yu's question. He looked up and stared into the distance. His gaze seemed as if he could see very far. He said, "Someone is coming." Leng Yu looked up and, indeed, there was a team of 9 people in the distance. They were all riding formidable royal blood horses as they rushed over. They were headed in Xiao Chen's direction. Clearly, their destination was Nirvana Island behind him. The auras of the 9 were extremely strong. They were small perfection half-step martial monarchs. The one in the lead was slightly stronger. He was a peak small perfection half-step martial monarch. The leader of the team was wearing green and he looked very handsome. His gaze was as sharp as a sword. He resembled the green-robed young master quite closely. When the leader of the team passed Xiao Chen and Leng Yu, he suddenly shouted, "The 2 of you, stop there." Xiao Chen frowned slightly, displeased by that person's extremely tyrannical way of speaking. The royal blood horse could walk on water at a very fast speed. It was expensive and could be found only in the boundless sea. Furthermore, they were in very short supply. Since these 9 people were all mounted on royal blood horses, their origins were definitely not simple. Xiao Chen thought for a while before turning around and asking, "Yes." The green-robed cultivator smiled slightly. He looked at Leng Yu, who was beside Xiao Chen, and said, "Tell your woman to remove her veil for me to see." Xiao Chen frowned and did not say anything. He only placed his right hand on his saber hilt. "Brat, you should be more tactful. Don't you know who our young master is?" "Ha ha. It is just one look from our young master. You won't die from it. If our young master likes her, it is your fortune." The cultivators behind the green-robed leader chimed in. Leng Yu saw Xiao Chen nodded slightly in a barely perceptible manner and she understood what he meant. The purple mark on Leng Yu's forehead flashed and a pink light came from her eyes. The 9 people were instantly dazzled and their blood started to surge as they fell for the illusions they saw. Ka-ca. Xiao Chen drew the lunar shadow saber at lightning speed. His figure wavered and turned into 9 figures. Then, he used one of Qingyan Peak's secret techniques, the clear wind chop, to hide his boundless killing intent in the cool breeze. The green-robed cultivator had the fastest reaction of the group. He only used half a second to wake up from the illusion. With a slap to the rump of the horse, the green-robed cultivator shot forward quickly, immediately moving more than 500 meters. However, a bloody wound still appeared on his chest. Electricity flickered in the wound. A saber intent spread out as the saber chi rampaged in the green-robed cultivator's chest, causing him a lot of pain. The other 8 people were charmed by Leng Yu for a whole second before waking up. Just when they were about to make their move, they discovered a cool breeze blowing at them. Suddenly, saber lights appeared and an overwhelming killing intent erupted. That killing intent was boundless, like a river overflowing its banks. The few of them never felt such vast killing intent before. They instantly lost their ability to move. Before they could even draw their weapons, a bloody wound appeared on their necks and then their heads flew off. 1 second was sufficient for Xiao Chen to do many things. The green-robed cultivator in the air sensed Xiao Chen's surging killing intent and his horrific strength. He felt extremely astonished. Furthermore, he had not expected Xiao Chen to be so decisive, killing people without even saying a word. "Very good. If you have the guts, then return to the divine dragon warship. I will make sure that you never leave the boundless sea." Bang! The 9 figures merged together and Xiao Chen sheathed his saber. He stared at the distant green-robed cultivator but did not give chase. "Should we go after him?" Leng Yu asked. Xiao Chen shook his head and said, "There is no need. He is merely a hedonistic son of rich parents, nothing more than a dancing clown. Just ignore him." After cultivating for half a year on Nirvana Island, Xiao Chen's cultivation had already risen to peak superior grade martial king. He only needed to obtain 6 more spirit-gathering pearls to break through to half-step martial monarch. Xiao Chen had already opened his sea of consciousness. Once he advanced to half-step martial monarch, he would not fear anyone under martial monarch. Even now, he did not fear a lascivious hedonistic heir who only used miraculous medicines and natural treasures to boost his cultivation. Those were no use if one had never undergone any tempering. The two of them each mounted a royal blood horse and galloped forward. While the royal blood horse was not as fast as a cultivator, it had great stamina. It did not need to rest and could run through the night. It was very useful for traveling long distances. After traveling day and night, the 3 islets appeared before the two's eyes after 4 days. This place was already at the edge of the battlefield. Many cultivators traveled in this area. Riding royal blood horses, Xiao Chen and Leng Yu stood out from the many cultivators traveling over the Scarlet Sea. They attracted a lot of attention. This was especially so for Leng Yu. Although she wore a fur-lined gown and a veil, one look at her exquisite figure, exposed eyes, and naturally charming aura told everyone that she was a beauty. Wearing a veil gave Leng Yu a mysterious aura. Everyone felt a compelling urge to know how pretty she was after she removed her veil. Shoo! Suddenly, 4 figures flew out from the islets. The 4 people were wearing robes of various colors, in the same fashion as the Northern Sea's 4 young masters. They were all peak small perfection half-step martial monarchs. When the 4 landed on the water, they obstructed Xiao Chen. The green-robed cultivator he met a few days ago smiled coldly and said, "I said it before, if you dare to return to the divine dragon warship, you will never leave the boundless sea." "Fourth brother, is this the person you were talking about? The cultivator who is not even a half-step martial monarch but managed to injure you so badly?" The white-robed cultivator on the left side asked. The green-robed cultivator replied angrily, "I was careless. I already said I was careless." The woman beside cultivators who were passing by saw the 4 people blocking Xiao Chen and Leng Yu. They came over to watch curiously. Someone offended those 4 fellows again. How unfortunate for him. Half a year ago, after the Northern Sea's 4 young masters mysteriously disappeared, these 4 declared themselves the new Northern Sea's 4 young masters. In the past few blood moons, they had exceptional performances. Now, they are even more popular than the previous 4 young masters. Xuanyuan Zantian taught the 4 of them a lesson last time. However, a leopard never changes its spots. They are so arrogant that they even snatched away a month's earnings from our team some time ago. What can we do? These people are the heirs of the Northern Sea's 4 noble clans. The previous 4 young masters are already dead. These 4 people will be the future masters of the Northern Sea. The discussion about the new 4 young masters allowed Xiao Chen to understand what happened in the half-year. It looked like no one knew that he had killed the Northern Sea's 4 young masters. Either that, or the Northern Sea's 4 noble clans did not publicize that fact. Regardless which it was, the situation was to Xiao Chen's advantage. The green-robed cultivator said unforgivingly, "Brat, if you know what's good for you, you will immediately send the woman beside you over and give me 1,000,000 medial-grade spirit stones. If you do so, I will naturally let you off." Of course, Xiao Chen would not agree to such conditions. The war horse galloped, kicking up splashes. Xiao Chen rushed over. Blood-reversing sword technique. Knife-breaking saber. Wind dragon burst. Iron fire fist. The 4 people smiled coldly and soared into the sky. 4 different states spread out in the air. Their auras linked with one another as they each launched their killing moves to heavily injure Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen could not be bothered to waste time with these 4. He drew his lunar shadow saber and executed his strongest move while on horseback. Wukui moves heaven. With the induction of Xiao Chen's saber intent, the black demonic clouds above flickered with scarlet lightning. The lightning rapidly gathered together. The thunder clouds formed a scarlet wukui tree trunk a kilometer high in the sky. The tree trunk grew swiftly as it furiously absorbed the lightning-attributed spiritual energy in the surroundings. Soon, the wukui tree grew leaves and formed completely. It covered the sky as it reached hundreds of meters tall. Rumble. When the wukui tree formed completely, everyone felt the sky tremble. The natural laws seemed to be changing. Suddenly, the four people found that no matter how they moved, they remained at their original spots. They instantly panicked. What's going on? What martial technique is this? The divine, scarlet wukui tree descended from the air. It instantly crushed the four's killing moves, various colored lights and essence scattering around chaotically. This move could not be dodged. When Xiao Chen was only a superior grade martial king, he was able to use this move to defeat the peak superior grade martial king Xie Ziwen. Now that Xiao Chen's cultivation and state of massacre had increased significantly, the strength of wukui moves heaven had likewise increased significantly. Even an inferior grade martial monarch would not dare to go head-on against it. These four had relied on medicinal pills to reach where they were now. How could they block this? Bang! The four worked together to quickly deploy an essence shield. However, the scarlet wukui tree immediately shattered it. They all vomited blood and fell to the Scarlet Sea, never to climb up again. After finishing off the four, Xiao Chen stopped caring about them. He sheathed his saber and rode off on the royal blood horse towards the divine dragon warship, galloping away on the surging Scarlet Sea. Damn it! Who is this person? How come I've never seen him before? He managed to finish off the new Northern Sea's four young masters in one move. He is on a different level from Xuanyuan Zantian. Indeed, even the top 10 of the point ranking board never heard this person's name before. This fellow did not even say anything. However, the impression he gave is too tyrannical, even more tyrannical than Xuanyuan Zantian. While the people watched as Xiao Chen left, the shock in their hearts could not be described with words. It was hard to imagine that there was another youth in this deep-sea battlefield that was as outstanding as Xuanyuan Zantian. On the Divine Dragon warship, Xiao Chen brought Leng Yu to the exchange room. He had been stuck at peak superior grade martial king for a long time already. He urgently needed spirit gathering pearls in order to break through. The moment Xiao Chen entered the big palace, he immediately felt some furtive gazes on him. He merely looked around and ignored these people. The point-ranking wall was as bustling as it was before. Xiao Chen took a quick glance and saw that Xuanyuan Zantian was still ranked first. However, Bai Zhan had been pushed to fourth place. The second and third ranked were the leaders of the Western Sea's 7 knights and the Southern Sea's 4 heroes. As for Xiao Chen's ranking, even after looking through the top 50 names, he could not see his own name. So he could not be bothered to keep looking. The demons on Nirvana Island were very different from the demons in the periphery. It was quite understandable that Xiao Chen gained points at a slower rate. However, Xiao Chen gained many benefits there. There was no doubt that the experience he gained when fighting the strong demons was better than that against the weak demons. Wait here for me, I will go to the exchange room, Xiao Chen instructed Leng Yu. After queuing for 15 minutes, Xiao Chen entered the exchange room for the second time. When the white-haired old man saw Xiao Chen walking in, his calm face immediately changed. He looked very shocked, but he returned to normal after a moment. Xiao Chen took out his jade pendant and went straight to the point. I have 8,000 points. Please help me exchange them for 6 spirit gathering pearls. As for the remaining 2,000 points, please exchange them for superior grade spirit stones. The white-haired old man received the jade pendant and glanced at it. There were indeed 8,000 points. After that, he returned the jade pendant and smiled. Little friend, you are going to be disappointed. The spirit gathering pearls are out of stock. Xiao Chen frowned and asked, how did that happen? The white-haired old man explained, there is only one martial sage in the Divine Dragon Palace. How could he have so much time to refine spirit gathering pearls? He will refine only 100 per year. That was indeed so. The spirit gathering pearls would exhaust a martial sage's source energy. Hence, the amount that could be created was limited. Xiao Chen could not help but feel disappointed. There was no spirit gathering pearls. He might need another half-year to break the bottleneck. If he was unlucky, it would be longer. However, I can use my personal spirit gathering pearls to exchange with you. We will just use your points. The white-haired old man changed the topic and brought out 6 inferior-grade spirit-gathering pearls. Xiao Chen did not rush to accept the white-haired old man's spirit-gathering pearls. He asked, "Senior, why are you helping me?" The white-haired old man handed over the spirit-gathering pearls. Smiling, he laughed, "Ha ha. Are you afraid that I will harm you? You are someone who even dares to kill the Northern Sea's 4 young masters. Do you not even have this amount of courage?" Xiao Chen smiled faintly, but his expression did not change much. He only tightened his left hand's grip on his saber. He said, "Senior, please do not speak nonsense. The 4 young masters are such great characters, how could I dare do anything to them? Are you still not admitting to it?" The Evil Moon Pavilion's Bai Zhan already used the revolving light mirror to capture the scene of you killing the 4 young masters. Currently, the palace is filled with spies from the Northern Sea Alliance. It is likely that they already sent news back to the Northern Sea by means of the 500 voice transmission talisman. After 1 hour, they will use the ancient conveying formation to send the Northern Sea Alliance's elders over. If I were you, I would immediately pack my things and leave immediately, the white-haired old man said unhurriedly as he smiled gently. Xiao Chen's face sank as he put away the spirit-gathering pearls. He quickly got up and said, "Many thanks to Senior for reminding me. I owe you a great debt of gratitude. I will repay it in the future." Indeed, Bai Zhan had a backup plan. Unexpectedly, his plan was so meticulous. At that time, regardless of whether the Northern Sea's 4 young masters succeeded or not, I would have been forced into a dead end. However, 1 hour is more than enough for me to flee far away. After Xiao Chen left the exchange room, he looked around. He quickly found Leng Yu and went over. He said, "Come with me. We need to leave this place at once." When Leng Yu saw Xiao Chen's expression, she knew that something had happened. She rushed after Xiao Chen. He immediately sped out of the palace, pushing all the cultivators in the way aside. His feet did not stop at all. The people Xiao Chen pushed around were angry. They cursed at him, but Xiao Chen just ignored them. However, after 5 minutes, the person that Xiao Chen did not want to see the most appeared in front of him. Bai Zhan. Xiao Chen revealed a murderous intent in his eyes. Bai Zhan stood in the middle of the crowd and smiled faintly. "White-robed bladesman, why the rush? Where are you going? You have not been back for half a year. Why not go have a good rest?" Xiao Chen did not disguise the murderous intent in his eyes as he said, "Move aside." Bai Zhan merely raised his eyebrows slightly and remained silent. He did not move at all. Clearly, he had not intention of moving. Shoo! Xiao Chen pushed off the ground and his figure flashed. A strong wind blew as he prepared to pass Bai Zhan. The elders of the Northern Sea's 4 noble clans would be arriving in an hour. Xiao Chen did not wish to waste time with Bai Zhan. He would settle any grievances with him in the future. Bai Zhan took 1 step forward and blocked Xiao Chen. He said indifferently, thinking of leaving, "You will have to ask me for permission first." Who? Xiao Chen moved back, then soared into the air. Bai Zhan pushed off the ground and blocked Xiao Chen again. This repeated 4 or 5 times. Even when Xiao Chen used clones, Bai Zhan was always able to block him at the crucial moment. After he was blocked by Bai Zhan again, the anger on Xiao Chen's face vanished. He took a step back and floated down to the floor. He said calmly, "I will tell you one last time, move aside." Bai Zhan shook his head and said, threatening me, "I don't feel that you are qualified to say this." The two glared at each other, raising their auras continuously. Suddenly a cool breeze started to blow. The bystanders felt that something was wrong, so they immediately moved aside and gave the two some space. Bai Zhan was quite famous. As a peak genius from the great Jin nation who had spent almost a year here, almost everyone knew about him. They found his strength to be unfathomable and believed him to be a true genius. As for Xiao Chen, he had vanished for half a year. Very few people even remembered him. Who is this person? He defeated the New Northern Sea's 4 young masters at the islets earlier. Why is he fighting with Bai Zhan now? Bai Zhan cannot be compared with those 4 young masters. He has been in the top 5 of the point ranking wall for a long time already. His strength is undeniable. There might be a good show for us to watch. This person is quite strong as well. The people around, who were discussing the two, looked as though they were watching a good show. Xiao Chen placed his right hand on his saber hilt and his killing intent spread out. His eyes turned scarlet as he gazed at Bai Zhan, waiting for a good moment to strike. Wah! Just at this moment,